All right. What's going on, guys? Another Sunday conversation. We're filming this on a Thursday morning. Just kind of get out there, say hello. What's going on this week? I didn't really have a topic, but I thought what I'd do is share some of the interesting things I saw on the interwebs this week. Just as projects and other stuff happening that give you some insight into what I'm thinking as I see stuff, since we're all scrolling way too much as it is. Got a couple good things to show you here. I'll flash the pictures up and talk about them. I put in a lot of energy into Instagram these days. I went from 10,000 subs or whatever, followers, to 15,000 in a real short time. Been doing a lot more reels, and a lot of those reels are previews of work to come. And then this week I posted, or last week I posted that Les Paul Refinish, which actually did really well. It's one of the videos that I have gotten that got over 10K views in a week, which is pretty good for me. So I made $100 on that, which is nice. It's nice to get a little money back in the coffers for a video. And then I posted a short on the 2550. If you guys have not seen that, I'll post that here real quick.
It's alive.
So the 2550 is alive. It sounds really good. The owner found some tarback pickups, which are very similar to the ones that I have in my guitar, and it sounds awesome. So we'll let this sit for a couple days. We'll refret it. Not refret it, but we'll level the frets, and then we'll ship it, and we'll do a concluding video and be done. And then I might get a pro to edit the video down into a concise view. You know, I like doing a consolidation video of all the work I put together. So I might hire someone to do that, because I know I can make that money back if the video does pretty well. So let's get into what I saw this week. And the big thing I saw this week was a Epiphone Les Paul neck that had a crack. And this crack is huge. I have never seen a crack this big. And I remixed it on Insta, and these cracks are great and terrible at the same time. Great in that once it's fixed, it's got a really long joint, so it's got a lot of stability. It's not like it cracked immediately off, and those are impossible to put together. But the thing with this crack is that if you don't get the splinters lined up first, what happens is one gets loose, and then you don't get a tight seam. So you got to make sure when you get a nut like this, or a guitar neck like this, that you get all the splinters lined up first. And all that really requires you is to take a dab of glue and just make sure that it doesn't move. And then you can layer in and make sure that it fits. Real interesting crack. I haven't seen one this long. I've seen a lot of the guitar necks that, you know, they're on the angle and they bust straight off. And those you have to spline back together. But I've never seen one like this. So just my 2 cents on a guitar repair there. I thought a lot of guys are doing husk repairs and a lot of project guitars sitting out there. I know that's how we get a lot of our dream guitars, as we find them broken and we fix them up. So if you're looking for guitar necks repairs, that's an interesting one. So, all right, the next thing I found on eBay this week, I was searching for Les Pauls. I don't know why. I still like looking for guitars. I saw this beautiful Orville Les Paul. These Orville guitars are amazing. I've played a bunch of them. My buddy had a bunch of them. They're really great guitars. If you're looking for a Les Paul copy and you don't want to drop Gibson money, these are really nice. I think these are some of the best guitars out there. to be honest. I've had a bunch of these as well. These are really nice. And that top and coloring on this guitar are beautiful. Just amazing looking. The spray that they did was really nice. I looked through this and I was like, maybe. And I'm still in process of selling gear, so I can't buy anything else. That green refinished Les Paul is still for sale. I lowered the price, I think, to $1,500, so just covering my costs on it essentially. But this was just a beautiful guitar. Just looked outstanding. Great coloring. They really got that yellow in and had a darker base to get that flame maple to pop, and it looks nice. Looks like someone really knew what they were doing. So that's the Orville Les Paul that I saw this week. Beautiful. I was listening to Rogan. I don't know how many of you guys like Joe Rogan or hate Joe Rogan or whatever, but I love his conversational style of podcast. It's easy listening, especially when you're in the shop or working. And he had Dave Mustaine on, and I thought it was interesting. I didn't think it was as in-depth in some ways. It's like, I don't know. It was just an interesting conversation. I was looking for a little bit more out of it. And by what I mean more, I don't know, maybe just thought process around music or whatever. And I know Joe's not a musician, so maybe that's what I was expecting. But it was an okay listen. If you're a huge Megadeth fan, worth the listen. If you like metal, probably worth a listen. Interesting story. And then I went on his Wikipedia page, and it's been years since I've listened to some of that stuff, and so just hearing some of the stories and reading up on his history again, it's like, wow, that's definitely one of the legends of metal, man. It's funny. Peace sells, right? So in my search for guitars, I'm working on, I posted on Instagram that not the 2550, the Les Paul Deluxe I got, where the pancake body separated, and I glued it back up, and it needs a little bit more TLC. I got to spray it to clean it up. It's a really beautiful guitar, the most amazing patina ever, original owner from Hawaii. But I started looking at Les Paul Deluxes. For some reason, I've always liked those. The 70s models are cool, and they're still pretty cheap. But man, they have like the worst spray pattern and coloring of any guitar I've ever seen. The Clown Burst that Gibson did back in the day was terrible. And the spray pattern on this one looks awful. I don't know if you guys can tell. As it comes around that horn, it kind of goes off in one side, and it's not really teardrop shape. It's kind of like a Friday, afternoon or a Monday morning spray job. It does not look good. And I usually don't like criticizing too much work from guys, but this one was bad. This one was so bad. And it's so bad, they're good now, because you just don't see guitars that are like this. So these are those classic models. A lot of people ripped out those mini humbuckers and routed for full-size humbuckers. And a lot of those have the original DiMarzio's Super Distortions from back in the day, and those sound outstanding. But there's something about this guitar, if you can find it original, that is amazing. So I may add one of these to my collection in a couple of years. They're just so ugly. I mean, they're just ugly. Same thing with this next one as well. I just don't understand this look. I really don't. I just don't understand the coloring. This one's a little bit better, but you can still see how it's just not right. And it looks terrible with the pickguard. I don't know. I don't really like the pickguard on any Les Paul, but this one just looks off. I don't know if it was the brightness of the filter or they enhanced the photo or whatever, but for $2,000, there's something about having old guitars. I feel like the older a guitar is, the better it sounds, just overall. And if you can get it set up right, you're really in good shape. something about the wood as it gets older, it ages, it crystallizes, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but I just love old vintage guitars that are not too bad of a price point. That's why a lot of some of the Hammer, USA made Hammer guitars sound great, different styles. But this is still a pretty unique guitar that is at a really interesting price point. I mean, think about what else is out there today. If you want a vintage piece of equipment that's terribly ugly, that's not bad. And I know most people don't want something that's terribly bad. So, I mean, you want a pretty flame top with awesome color, but if I was in a band, I'd probably find the ugliest guitar out and play with that one. So, I don't know. I still think that first one I showed is just so terribly done. I did get a guy asking me to respray a guitar. It's funny, this week I got a ton more emails than I've ever gotten from people because of that Les Paul refinish. So that's a good genre for me to do. Refinishing Les Pauls is great. I know a lot of guys are like, oh, it kills the value, but if the guitar is ugly, the guitar's ugly. Like, who wants an ugly guitar? Nobody. All right, 2 more things to share. One was this whiskey barrel guitar I did. I posted a reel on Insta, and I almost got like 750,000 views or something like that. And the comments are hilarious because the whole guitar is aged. I mean, it's a whiskey barrel top, and if you put new hardware on it, it looks stupid. Like, why would you have new hardware on a aged whiskey barrel guitar? I mean, some of the barrels I get are aged 10, 15 years, and I aged the hardware. You know, it's the look. I mean, like, why would you have new hardware on a guitar that's aged? I mean, this is the staves from a Maker's Mark. You know, obviously a Buffalo Trace whiskey barrel, and like, why wouldn't you age the hardware? You know, so what I do is I lit the plastic tip and just give it some texture. And it's like, why would you do that? Aged guitars are stupid. And I'm like, wow. I couldn't understand the hate, but I don't know, just my 2 cents on, I don't know. I like aging the hardware. It looks in line with the guitar itself. So, all right, last pick here is Mr. Banker. I don't know if you guys follow Mr. Banker or know Mr. Banker. He is one of the authorized Gibson guys. I met him through the years, a couple years ago, and he puts out just some beautiful instruments. Him and Lucky Dog, when I get some money in the coffers, I'm buying instruments from them. They're my 2 favorite builders. Mr. Banker built this SG carve top, which is beautiful. It just fits it. I haven't seen an SG carve top. If you guys have some ideas in your head, an SG carve top is really cool. I know they do the cutouts on the side, but this was just really beautifully done. Painted ebony board, pearl inlays with this cream white. I mean, just gorgeous. You know, he's got a lot of connections with a lot of the new guys, up and coming bands, and he does outstanding work. And I just thought this really deserved its own call out. Just a beautiful guitar, really well done. I mean, and he's a great guy too, so got to share where I can. So that's a random Sunday conversation with you, just kind of what I see is out there. Get a decent number of views from you guys this week. I'll keep posting these. I want to get my videos spooled up for Christmas, trying to make some money again on guitar videos. So we got the 2550 coming. Like I said, you saw the short, and then doing a whole bunch of whiskey barrel guitars, getting ready for Christmas, that Christmas selling season. So a lazy Sunday for sure on Labor Day weekend. Enjoy your day off. I'm probably going to the beach on Monday, maybe. We'll see. We'll get the flies biting and everything. You know how that goes for you Midwest boys. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a great day off and get ready to go into the shop season, right? Football and shop season. So have a good one.